finally made it to out of the populated area. Basically following my permits. And it was one turn after another. And of course the point is, the point of all these turns is to avoid low bridges, mostly, because I'm 14.6 inches tall, right? So I'm driving on US 41, just west of Marquette, Michigan. And all of a sudden I see a sign on the bridge that starts with 14. So right away I had the yellow light, flashing inside my head. I hit the brakes, and I see on the right the inch number was like straight line. I couldn't see from far. It was either 11. I was hoping it was 11, and then I came closer. No, it was 1. So despite Michigan DOT, all efforts to route me properly, somehow I got to a bridge where I clearly was taller, so I stopped, I backed, and thought there for a while, just thinking about, my life in general and how to cross this bridge in particular. And a state police cruiser passed me, Michigan State Police. The guy sees me with all the lights, flashing lights, a huge load, sitting on the side of the road, in front of the bridge with marked height, and you would think that a public servant would at least be concerned, maybe stop and ask, what's happening, or the worst case scenario, check my permit. But I was on my route. I was following everything precisely. The cop just passed. No hi, no bye, no nothing. That's where you need them, because I called my dispatch and described where I am, and they were able to find that bridge on Google Maps. And thanks to Street View, my boss was able to see both sides of the bridge. You can flip that picture, right? And he says, according to Google Maps, on the other side of the bridge for the oncoming traffic, it said 14.6. 14.1 is only on this side, and then that gave me an idea, so I started looking, and really that bridge was kind of like lower on my side, especially on the curb where the grass was, and it was much higher on the other side. So I grabbed my measuring tape. Actually, that's what I did before I called dispatch. I measured. It was 15 feet on the left curb and 14.6 on the right curb in my lane, which was still kind of like, because the actual highway was taller than the curbs. So it was a big concern, a big headache. I still feel stressed out, because I cannot back 2 miles to the nearest intersection, right? It was a divided highway. So anyway, my dispatch gave me an idea, so I figured that even the left-hand curb on my lane would be okay. So I dropped the gooseneck to the lowest, like 2 inches down. I used the manual override on the trailer. I dropped the suspension probably a couple of inches over there. And then finally, when it was clear for me to go, I went into the left lane on my side still. I didn't cross into the other side like originally we wanted, maybe just go to the other side. But the median was hard to go over, because it was a big dip. I knew that I would catch it with my trailer. So it was, for such a low trailer, it's very difficult. Anyway, so waited till the traffic died down on my side, and I put all my lights, you know, my four-way flashes were still on, everything is on, and I turned on my low beams, and I went into the left lane, and I stayed like 2 inches away from the pole in the middle. Like, here's the picture of this bridge. So I stayed to the very left where the pole is, and when I was a few meters away from the bridge, I did the final thing I could do. I dropped the air from the truck suspension, which gives me another, like, really about, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 inches easy on the truck. So, which of course brings the trailer down. And I crawled under that scary bridge, and I don't know, I had maybe a couple of inches over, 1 inch, but there was no screeching sound, nothing. So I made it, and I sent an email to dispatch, you know, made it, no damage. So that's why they paid the big bucks for these oversized loads, or why they should pay much more than just the cost of permits, because it really can be a stressful, you know, stressful adventure. You can cause lots of problems for other people, you know. And so yeah, then I after I crossed the bridge, I stopped in the median there, and I raised my suspension. I went back to the trailer, I raised the suspension on the trailer, and then finally I started the Honda motor, and I raised my gooseneck to the next position, otherwise the front of the trailer was too low. And so now I'm 14.6 like I was before, but I think when I was going under the bridge I was probably about 14.2, 14.15, that's what I'm thinking. So it was a very scary experience. Bypass around busy areas near the lake in Michigan, and so I was going east, and the same thing now. This is M28 going east towards I-75, so it's about 2 hours from here, or maybe 2.5 hours to I-75 north, and then it's about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes to the International Bridge in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. is make sure you basically I gotta stop again and call them just to verify that I'm still good to go. I gave him my dimensions, my height, you know, width, and they said no, you don't need an escort over the bridge. So you see the sign on the right says Sault Ste. Marie 8 miles, but that's Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. And on the other side is of the river is Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. So it's pretty close. Take the money from the bank machine, and of course this bridge they don't take cash. This is an international bridge in Sault Ste. Marie. And they told me to park my truck and just walk to duty free. And that's what I did. And of course I'm on the bridge. I'm not that wide, right? So only 10.2. But actually the left side of the trail is inside the yellow lines, and the right side is like 3 feet away. I have my low beams on, I have my flashlight on the roof, and I have my blinkers, four-way flashes, just to warn people coming from the opposite side that I'm wide, you know. And I went through the toll booth, and there was a bar at the top, I guess, to measure if you are too tall. But I think that bar was like at 16 feet because I passed well under. Speed limit here for loaded trucks is 30 miles an hour. I'm doing what, 22, 23. I know at the end there's going to be a very sharp turn. I can see it from here. Narrows down over there, but the view from here is like amazing. There's an island or whatever, semi-island. There's some kind of industrial, very scary. Actually, it looks very scary. You know, it kind of looks like, I don't know, Mars planet where they mine something. Not a tourist picture, you know, like. Oh, see, this means I'm in Canada. The speed limit now is in kilometers per hour. becomes much more narrow here. About flashing lights, you know, rooftop lights.
Turn left, highway 17B, Huron Street, and turn left.
Well, at least in Canada it's going to be better because we don't have such low bridges as usually they have in the States.